Welcome to the Volonex i3 assembly instruction video. To start off, we will be going through the reverse part of the i3 printer. First, we have the control board, also known as the PCB. It is wrapped in the sealed packet. Next, we have the power plug. Next, we have the power cord and the 12V power adapter. Next up, we have the Z-axis motor, which is connected by a wire cable. It comes with the coupler attached at the top. Next up, we have the Y motor and the X motor. Both the X and the Y motors are identical. Next up, we have a 4GB SD card. Next, we have the X-axis carriage. It consists of the nozzle, heater, fan, and auto-leveling sensor. It comes fully assembled. After that, we have the extruder motor where the filament is dispensed. Again, it comes fully assembled. Next, we have the top X-axis bracket, both the left and right. Up next, we have both the left and the right Z-axis motor bracket. Next, we have the X-axis mount assembly that includes the motor mount and the idler mount. The motor mount comes with a limit switch, which is also known as the sensor. Next, we have the Y-axis limit switch, also known as the sensor. Next, we have the Y-axis idler mount and the Y-axis motor mount. We also have two PCB brackets, which is for the PCB to be mounted on. There is also a bundle of 20 cable ties and two rubber belts for both the X and Y axis. There's also a controller inside, which is also known as the LCD. We also have 3 tubes, the cable sleeve, the telephone cable, and lastly, the filament tube. Also included in the kit is the main frame, and the main support leg. The mainframe support leg comes with two M310 screws. The printing plate is also included. It is wrapped up in a bubble wrap. We have many different packs of screws. It consists of the M310 screws, a pack of M316 screws, another pack of M320 screws, a pack of M325 screws, a pack of 4 cap nuts, a pack of M8 hex nuts, a pack of M3 and M4 washers. Last but not least, we have a pack of M8 washers. A variety of rods are also included. First, we have a pair of 190 mm screw traps. And also a pair of M8 290mm screw threads. We also have a pair of 270mm rod. A pair of 250mm rod. Lastly, a pair of 220mm rod. With that, we have covered all the parts for the i3 mini printer, and we will be moving on to the assembly. Welcome to step 1, where we will be assembling the main body frame. What we will need is the main body, the support leg, and the M3 Allen key. The support leg comes with 2 screws, so the first step will be removing the 2 screws. Once that is done, position the support leg at the 2 holes located at the bottom of the main body frame. Remember to keep the thin part of the support leg pointing upwards. Lastly, screw in the support leg into place with the 2 given screws. That is all for step 1. Come to step 2, we'll be mounting the Z motor bracket. We will need the frame, 2 Z motor bracket, and 4 M310 screws. We'll be mounting the motor bracket here and here. Let's start. This should be how it looks like once it's completed. Once you have successfully mounted the 2 Z motor bracket, step 2 is completed.
Welcome to step 3, where we will be mounting the Z motor to the bracket. We will need 8 M310 screws and the 2 Z motors which are connected by the Y cable. This is an example of what the completed product should look like. So firstly, we have to bring the cable through the hole located on the main frame. With the connector of the motor facing downwards, plug the cable back into the motor. Once that is done, attach the motor to the bracket using 4 M310 screws on each side. This is what the completed product should look like. Remember to loosen the screws so that the motor is able to shift left and right within the bracket. That's all for step 3.
Welcome to step 4, where we will be attaching the Y-axis motor mount to the main frame. The motor mount comes with 2 M6 screws that you have to remove with an M6 Allen key. Once that is done, slide the motor mount into place and screw in the 2 M6 screws. Do remember not to tighten it yet, as you have to be able to move it around later. With that, step 4 is completed. Welcome to step 5, where we will be assembling the y-axis. We're mounting the 290mm screw thread to the y-axis motor mount. This is what the finished product will look like. So we will need two 290mm screw thread, 6 hex nuts, 3 on each side, 4 M8 washers, 2 on each side, and lastly 2 M8 cap nuts, 1 on each side. Firstly, we will be sliding a 200mm screw thread through the main frame. Next, place the washer into the screw thread and then screw in 1 hex nut. Next, we'll be doing the same for the other end of the screw thread. 1 washer and then 1 hex nut. After putting the first hex nut, we will be putting in another hex nut. Once that is done, we'll be slotting the screw thread into the y-axis motor mount. Following that, we have to measure the distance between the y-axis motor mount and the main body frame. For that, you could take any flat surfaces, take a ruler, and measure the distance between the outer part of the y-axis motor mount and the block. The distance should be around 91mm. Once that is done, tighten all the hex nuts. For the end, the screw thread has to exceed the mount by about 5mm. So once that is done, take the cap nut and screw it into the screw thread and tighten it. Once that is done, step 5 is completed. Welcome to step 6, where we will be mounting the y-axis limit switch. So we will need a limit switch, 2 M310 screws, and also the M3 Allen key. First, align the 2 holes on the limit switch mount to the 2 holes on the main frame, then screw in the 2 M310 screws. The switch position can be adjusted later. Once that is done, step 6 is completed.
Welcome to step 7, where we will be mounting the rods of the y-axis. So we will need two 290mm rods and also the printing bit. First, insert the rod into the hole of the y-axis motor mount. Ensure that the rods are fastened properly as they will be holding up the printing bit. Next, take the printing bit and flip it over. Take note of these 3 holes as the rods will be slotted through them. Once that is done, take the printing bit and slot it through the respective holes. That is all for step 7. Once again, make sure that the rods are fastened properly so that the printing bit will be securely fastened. Welcome to step 8, where we will be mounting the y-axis idler. We will need 2 M8 hex nuts, 2 cap nuts, and lastly the y-axis idler mount. Firstly, screw in the M8 nuts into each screw thread. Next, insert the idler into the screw thread. Do make sure all 4 rods are securely fastened. Next, we will be measuring the distance between the outside of the idler and the frame, which should be about 192mm. You can use a ruler to measure the distance. Take note that the end of the screw thread have to jut out 5mm so that we can screw the cap nut on. Adjust the screw thread and the hex nut as necessary. Lastly, screw the two cap nuts, and with that, step 8 is done.
Come to step 9, where we will be positioning the limit switch. Before that, check that this is what you have done after step 8. Do tighten these two nuts so that the mainframe is stable. Once that is done, flip the printer such that the bottom is exposed. As you can see, the switch is positioned such that when the bit goes all the way back, it is able to hit the switch, thus producing a click sound. If it does not hit, take a small electric and tighten these two small screws holding the switch down. Move the switch around until the bit is able to activate the switch. Once that is done, the first stage of assembling the printer is completed. Welcome to step 10, where we will be constructing the x-axis. We will need a pair of 250mm rod, the motor mount of the x-axis, which includes a limit switch, the assembled nozzle, and lastly, the idler of the x-axis. Firstly, place the two rods into the holes of the motor mount and slide the nozzle through. Next, place the other end of the rod into the idler's hole. Take note of the extrusion of the idler where it has to be facing outwards relative to the printer's direction. Once you have done that, the x-axis is now assembled. That is all for step 10. Welcome to step 11, where we will be mounting the z-axis. Let me just place the x-axis aside first. So we will need a pair of 250mm rod. We will be mounting it on the Z-motor bracket on the outer holes. So firstly, slide it into the two outer holes of the Z-motor bracket. Next, we will take the x-axis and slide it into the two rods. However, as you can see, the x-axis mount has two different holes, so slide the rod into the outer hole of the x-axis. Make sure the x-axis is aligned and parallel to the ground. The x-axis should be able to slide up and down. Once that is done, step 11 is completed. Welcome to step 12, where we will be mounting the Z-axis cap. So first, we will need the two caps and 4 M310 screws. We'll be using the M3 Allen key, so we'll be mounting the caps here and here. This should be how it looks like once you're done. That is all for step 12. Welcome to step 13, where we will be mounting the Z-axis screw thread to the coupler and then to the motor shaft. We will need two couplers, a pair of 190mm screw thread, and a rod for aligning purposes. For the coupler, there's actually two sides. One has a bigger hole, while one has a smaller hole. The bigger hole is for the screw thread, while the smaller hole is for the motor shaft. Before we place the coupler into the motor shaft, we will need to untighten the set screws in the coupler. Before placing the coupler into the motor shaft, we will need to take the rod and rest it on the motor bracket. Then, slide the coupler in. For the motor shaft, there's actually a part that has a flat side to it. That will be where we'll be aligning our set screw to and then screwing it on. Once that is done, we will be putting the screw thread through the cap, down the idler, and into the bigger hole of the coupler. You can stop once the tip of the screw thread is leveled with the Z-axis cap. Once it is leveled, tighten all 4 set screws of the coupler. Repeat the same process for the other side. When you have finished both sides, step 13 is completed.
Welcome to step 14, where we will be mounting the Y-axis motor. We will need one Y-axis motor, 2 M310 screws, and 2 M3 washers. We will be mounting this motor to the Y-axis motor mount. First, place our M3 washers into the M310 screws. Next, with the connector of the motor facing down, take the wire and slot it under the screw thread of the Y-axis. Then place the motor into the mount and secure it with 2 M310 screws. Do remember not to tighten the screws too tightly, as we would need the motor to move forward and backward within the mount. Once that is done, move the motor all the way to the front. Welcome to step 15, where we will be mounting the X-axis motor to the X-axis motor mount. We will need 4 M316 screws, 4 M3 washers, and another 4 M4 washers. Insert the M3 washer into the screw, followed by the M4 washer. This is how it should look like. Then take the motor with the connector facing down and insert it into the X-axis motor mount like this. Take the 4 screws and fasten the motor into place. Once we have finished screwing the motor into the motor mount, that is all for step 15.
Welcome to step 16, where we will be mounting the PCB brackets onto the main frame. For this step, we will be needing 4 M310 screws and the 2 PCB brackets. The screws will be inserted in the PCB bracket just like that. Take note that the extrusion of the PCB bracket has to be facing away from the printing bed. This is how it should look like once it is done. And with that, step 16 is completed. Welcome to step 17, where we will be mounting the extruder motor. We will need 2 M316 screws and the extruder motor assembly. First, take the 2 M316 screws and put them into the screw holes seen in the motor assembly. Then, attach the motor assembly to the main frame by screwing the 2 screws into the 2 holes in the main frame. This should be how it looks like once you are done. The filament will be entering from the bottom and coming out from the top. Make sure that the motor is held tightly in place by tightening the screws. Welcome to step 18, where we will be mounting the power plug to the main frame with an M325 screw. First, pull the wire into the hole on the side of the power plug. Then, mount the power plug in between the 2 screws on the main frame. Use the one M325 screw to screw the power plug into place. Once that is done, you can see that the power plug is held in between the 2 screws and the cable is coming out from the side. Once you have tightened the M325 screw, step 18 is complete. Welcome to step 19, where we will be attaching the X-axis belt to the X-axis assembly. For this step, we will need 1 belt. First, take the belt with the jagged side facing up and insert it through the right side of the printer. Take the belt and loop it through the middle section. Use a cable tie to fasten the belt. Make sure the cable tie is extremely tight. This should be how it looks like once you're done. Then, take the other end of the belt with the jagged side facing down and put it through the right side of the printer again. Pull the belt all the way to the other side and loop it over the motor gear before looping it through again in the middle section. Once that is done, use the cable tie to tighten it and remember to snip off the excess cable tie. Once again, do remember to make sure that the belt is as tight as possible before securing with the cable tie. If it's not tight enough, you could use 2 pliers to tighten it even further. That is all for step 19.
Welcome to step 20, where we will be attaching the Y-axis belt to the Y-axis assembly. Once again, we will need one belt. First, take the belt with the jagged side facing up and insert it through the left side of the printer. Make sure that the belt is going under the bearing. Take the belt and loop it through the middle section. You can twist the belt to make it easier for you to loop it through. Once the belt is looped through, use a cable tie to fasten the belt. Make sure the cable tie is extremely tight. You can use a plier to make the belt even tighter. Next, take the belt with the jagged side facing down and bring it through the top side of the bearing. Pull it all the way to the right side of the printer and make it go through the motor gear. Once again, pull it through to the middle and loop it through. Pull the belt as much as possible to make sure there's no slack in the belt. Again, use a cable tie to secure it in place. Before tightening the cable tie fully, make sure that the belts are. Before fully tightening the cable tie, make sure the belt is as tight as possible. You can use more cable ties to make sure that the belt is secured in place. After that, snip off the excess parts of the cable tie. With that, step 20 is done. After the belt is done, we will need to fully tighten the Y motor. Push the motor as far out as possible to make the belt tighter. Next, fully tighten the belt. With that, step 21 is done.
Welcome to step 22, where we will be doing the wiring of the PCB. On the sides are the ports where the different motors and sensors will be connected to. We will be numbering the wire to make it easier for us to know where to plug the wire into the PCB. First, number the extruder motor number 1. Next, label the dual Z-axis motor number 2. Number 3 will be the Y-axis motor. Next, we will label the X-axis wire number 4. Moving on, we have the nozzle heater, which can be recognized by the 2 red wire. This will be number 5. Number 6 would be the fan. We will then label the power cable number 7. And number 8 will be the Y-axis limit switch, which is denoted by the green and blue wire. Number 9 will be the Y-axis limit switch, which is the pink and grey wire. Number 10 will be the Z-axis auto leveling sensor. And last but not least, number 11, which is the nozzle temperature sensor, which is bundled together with the heater wire. That is all for step 22. Welcome to step 23, where we'll be connecting the wire to the PCB. First up, we will connect wire 1 to the top left corner of the PCB. Next, we connect wire 2 below wire 1. Wire 3 will be connected below wire 2. And finally, Wire 4 will be below, wire 3 at the bottom left of the PCB. With that, all motors are connected. Now we move on to the other parts. Wire 5 will be at the bottom left of the PCB. Wire 6 will be at the bottom right of the PCB, right beside wire 5. Number 7 is the power plug, which we will attach last. Next, wire 8 will be attached at the last port on the right side of the PCB. For wire 9, it will be right above wire 8. For wire 10, it will be at the top right side of the PCB. Lastly, number 11 will be at the top of the PCB. Do remember to connect it on the left port. Do remember to attach the green power cable later. That is all for the wiring. The next step will be attaching the PCB to the PCB bracket on the mainframe. That is all for step 23. Welcome to step 24, where we see the finished printer. In front of you is what a finished printer should look like with everything wired and with cable management. You can put the extruder motor wire, nozzle heater, and fan wire together into a telephone cable. We also cable tied the Z-axis motor wire and the Y-axis motor wire together. Once you're done with the cable management, make sure you cut off all excess cable ties. You should hide all the wires behind the PCB. Once that is done, take 4 M316 screws and screw the PCB into place with the PCB bracket. You don't have to tighten the PCB all the way. Be careful not to squeeze the wire, as that will damage the wire. After that, make sure all the motors are tightened and all the screws are in place. Once that is done, the whole printer is assembled. Welcome to step 25, where we will attach the monitor to the printer. This is the monitor, so take the rainbow cable from the PCB and attach it into the monitor. With that, we have attached the monitor to the printer. Next, we'll do calibration. Welcome to step 26, where we'll do the calibration of the printer. Once you plug in the power to the printer, the LCD should switch on. To start off the process, take the LCD and click the black dial. You should go into the info screen. From there, scroll down to prepare by spinning the black dial. Click on to prepare. Once you're done, scroll down to preheat PLA. After that, the printer should automatically heat up to 200 degrees Celsius. You can see the temperature of the nozzle by looking at the top left of the LCD. Once the nozzle is heated and the temperature is stable, we will ensure the printing bed is level. So to begin, take a ruler and measure the height of the bed from the inside tip to the bottom of the outside tip. The distance should be around 1 cm. If the height is not correct, adjust the height of the bed by tightening or loosening the screws. Next, go to the menu and go to Control, and then into Motion. From there, go into Z offset. By spinning the dial, make the Z offset to a value of 5. Once you are finished, press the black dial again. Next, we will leave the E step at 50. And for the X offset, we will make it to a value of -10. we'll leave the Y offset at 0. Once all this setting is done, we'll do an auto home. You can do this by going to the menu, click on Prepare, and then click on Auto Home. Wait for the printer to finish homing before doing anything else. Once that is done, for the next step we'll be needing a piece of paper. Slide it under the nozzle. After that, we'll move the nozzle down such that it scrapes the paper lightly. To move the nozzle down, we go into Menu, Prepare, and then scroll down to Move Axis. Once that is done, go into Move 0.1 mm. Next, scroll into Move Z-axis. Move the dial to move the nozzle down to a point such that the nozzle lightly scrapes the paper. Once it lightly scrapes the paper, take note of the N value. As you can see, for ours it's about 4.1. It varies from printer to printer, so it might not be 4.1 for yours. Next, go to the main menu, go into Control, and next into Motion. Next, go into Z offset and we'll be changing the value. To obtain this new value, we will take the value of 5 minus the previous value that you have gotten. For our case, it's 4.1. So the value we'll be setting the Z offset to will be 0.9. Once that is done, go back into the control menu and click Store Memory. Next, do a reboot. You can reboot the whole LCD by pressing the red button at the top of the dial. This is also the emergency stop button. Once the screen refreshes, it has rebooted. Next, we'll do an auto home once again. This time, the paper should scrape the nozzle. With that, the calibration step is completed. Welcome to step 27, where we will be loading the filament into the printer. For this step, we will need the tubing for the filament and the filament itself. First, we will insert the tubing into the fitting at the top of the extruder assembly. Next, we will be inserting the filament up through the bottom of the extruder assembly. However, to make it easier for the filament to enter, you have to cut the filament tip at an angle. Once that is done, you can slide it up into the extruder assembly. To facilitate smoother entry, you can pull the clip of the extruder assembly out. Once you have gotten the filament through the tube, ensure that the filament exits the tube by a few centimeters. Once that is done, you can slide it into the nozzle. Do ensure that the nozzle is heated up to about 200 degrees Celsius before inserting any filament. Once that is done, you can start printing.